Hey, this is Ryan from Dakota Angler and Outfitter, and today we're going to be tying a red butt pheasant tail. It's kind of a variation between a pheasant tail and a lightning bug, but it's been a pretty good fly locally here. I've got Umpqua 260 BL hook in the vise with the silver tungsten bead. I'm using orange 70 Denny or Danville thread. Start your thread at the front. Then we're going to take a few strands of Coq de Leon for a tail, maybe half a dozen or so. I like the tails kind of long on these, make it maybe a hook shank and a half. And then we're going to take a couple pieces of either red or claret or fuchsia flash. We're using Krennic here, but you could use whatever you have handy. Take about 3, maybe 4 strands of it and tie it in at the same point as you tied in the tail. Like that. Bring your thread to the back. Just go kind of straight opposite of where the barb would be, if you can imagine where the barb would be. This is a barbless hook, but bring your thread maybe a quarter of the way forward and do a few wraps of that Krennic flash. It's kind of just like a hot spot on the wrong end of the fly almost. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now we're going to trim that off. Take some silver wire. We're using small ultra wire here, but you can use, again, whatever you have handy. And tie that in, bring your thread back to the front of the hook here. And I like kind of jamming the end of this wire up into the bead, gives you a nice smooth transition. Give that a couple wraps. And then we're going to take some pheasant tail fibers. Maybe 4, maybe 5 of them total. And tie those in the same spot. And you're going to tie it in, or wrap it back to right where you had the end of that kind of hot butt. Maybe go just a little beyond that, just so you don't get a spot where the orange thread's sticking out. Alright, bring your thread back up to the front. We'll wrap these pheasant tail fibers for a body. That. Those 2 or 3 wraps. Trim off the excess. I like twisting this stuff together when you trim it, because sometimes it seems like it sucks it back into the body a little better that way. We're going to put some dubbing up there anyway, so it's not super important. And take and rib this the opposite direction you wrap the pheasant tail fibers. You'll probably only get 3 wraps out of it, as short as this body is. Give that a few wraps. Trim off your excess, kind of push your wire back into the body there. And then we're going to do kind of a hot spot on here. You can use whatever color. We're using like a UV gray hen spectra dubbing here, but you can change this definitely. I mean, change the hot spot on the back of the fly also, just to whatever your local fish like. You don't need a lot of dubbing just because this is already a pretty chunky fly, but that should work. Alright, then we're finished. It's kind of a strange looking fly. It's got a lot of different colors in it, but it seems to make a good kind of all around attractor nymph for our local fish, and I'm sure it works just as well everywhere else. So, tie a few up. Thanks.